Hey everyone, Positron taking a quick look at the Last Remnant Remastered on the Nintendo Switch. This is actually a game that came out many years ago from Square. It was developed for the Xbox 360 originally back in 2008 and was eventually ported to PC, and now it is ported again to the Switch. This is based on the PC version, which has a lot of changes compared to the 360 version, for the better. Disclaimers before I put it out there: this code was provided to me by Square to do some content on it. Thanks to them, much appreciate that. It is $20 normally on the Switch eShop. And the other disclaimer is that I really like this game. This game is a bit divisive, but I really enjoy it. I think it's got a lot of cool stuff, and I'm gonna try to show some of those things off. So I'm gonna try to break down this video and show off all the different systems of the game, from the combat, which I think is the game's strongest point, to some of the story stuff, as well as the mechanics of traversing and things like that. So, oh my god, we already... Here, we'll get into a combat right away here. I actually set up a save.
Let's do this!
Deal with this guy. So enemies are placed in the world. We travel in a third-person perspective. Free roaming. There is no overworld in that sense. There is kind of a point-to-point map, and then we go into these different areas. So, we'll immediately get into the big selling point here, which is the combat system. The combat system is very unique. It's very cool. It has a lot of learning curve to it, though. I'm actually going to make sure these trigger settings are set like this. I'm going to turn them back to automatic because I'm really bad at them, but I want to show them off to start. So when we get into combat, combat is made up of unions. Right now we have, I think, let's see, we've got 13 people in our party. We've got our current union, which just has 3 people, and then we've got 2 guest unions. Guest unions we can't control directly, they're just part of the story for the moment. But I'll show off some bigger combat later. So yeah, unions of units, there we go, all act together. So we use these commands to tell them what to do. So we can attack, which is just regular attacked, regular weapon attacks. We can use mystic arts, which is magic. We can use special combat abilities, or we can tell them to just chill. For the sake of just getting into it here, I will tell them to attack with combat arts. You'll notice too, you can see if you press Y, you can see exactly what they're going to do. The game does only let you do these specific commands, and the individual abilities are basically up to the game, based on how much AP you have, how much AP you're spending, things like that. So we'll do this. We'll engage in combat here. That deadlock means that we are on one-on-one with this enemy. So their group is fighting our group. There are many different things. There's flanking attacks. If you get something from the side, there's interceptions. There's something called a raid lock. There's a lot of different things. So you'll see some stuff here. We actually got a accessory. Now we can only directly equip Rush. So this is our main character, by the way, Rush Sykes. He's currently looking for his sister Irina. He is being joined by the Marquis of Athlon, so the leader of a nearby city, when we were going to find Irina. And you also see that there are a lot of different races in the game. It's made up of mostly humans, or Mitra. We have these large fish-type people that are the Yama. We've got these smaller kind of frog rabbits that are the Ksidi, and we have the Sylvani, which are tall, four-armed catfolk, which are pretty cool. So let's see. We can also do this thing. You see the little thing that says Diggs? You can grab something here with Mr. Diggs. You get him very early on in the game. Hey, we actually found a special item with him. So this will actually increase the number of times he can dig. That refreshes every time you go back to the world.
Later.
Cool. We can also do a thing. You see that time shift very early on in the game. You learn how to do this. It lets you basically tag enemies if you want to fight more than one at a time. We're going to skip that for the moment. But yeah, so enemies are always in the world. Oh boy, that one's chasing us. You know what? We'll do another combat. We'll activate this. While you're in time shift, if you press the right trigger at any time and do that circle, it'll activate combat with any enemies that you've tagged during the time shift, which is pretty cool. See that morale meter at the top? Morale basically determines how much damage you do. To an extent, you know, if your morale is really low, you're going to take more damage, do a little less damage. If your morale is really high, you're going to do a lot more damage and take a little less damage. Let's see. We'll stick with combat arts for now.
We shall stop them here.
And we're going to get into a boss fight here pretty soon. I've actually placed this save near a boss. We can show off a larger scale combat with some more cool effects. I've also shown off some of the story bits as well. Alright, so there's two groups in this one. Each union can only attack once. Unless it is a special boss union, they'll be able to attack multiple times. Damn. Also, ragdoll physics are amazing.
Made of sterner stuff.
You'll see that battle rank at the top right. We don't have individual levels, we just have a battle rank. Yeah, we'll split this. Battle rank determines kind of your level. It also determines some of the scaling in the game. I believe the version since 360 had been lightened up a bit, so having a high battle rank causing enemies to scale up doesn't necessarily mean you're in trouble. But yeah, let's go into this story sequence here. I'm going to let this play out so you can get a feel of some of the political intrigue that's going on. You can see some of the remnants themselves. You know, hear the voice acting as well. So that there is a remnant. There's kind of these enormous constructs that nobody really knows why they're in the world. But they all contain great power.
You must bind this remnant to yourself. You must release its power. For that power will change the world. Why, it might even bring back the dead.
You mean?
We'd like to see your brother again, wouldn't we?
So this guy has convinced Irina that her brother Rush is dead. Obviously, we're not dead. So a lot of people in the world have the ability to bind remnants. Basically, attaching them to themselves and unlocking that power.
Irina!
Rush, they have a hostage. You must stay calm.
Emma, the voice of reason.
Listen, these people are dangerous, and we don't know what they're capable of.
And there's Lord David, Bathlon.
Well, well, if it isn't the Marquis of Athlum.
You know of me? How fortunate. Your acts of aggression have not gone unnoticed. We know how you manipulated both the Rubber Soul and the Schiavona. And let's not forget the kidnapping. Your actions are in violation of congressional decree. And for this, you will be punished.
Both of us are men of reason, Marquis. A man of your stature surely realizes the impracticality of certain laws. But I understand. We shall withdraw if that is your wish. We shan't dare do anything to put you out. Will that be all?
No. You will release her and surrender immediately.
Do you think we won't harm you just because you're the Marquis of Athlum?
Your confidence implies you are not alone. Who is your ally? The Duke of Gore, perhaps?
By now, you must be aware of the Academy's response, or lack thereof.
You're part of the Academy?
I will say, the game looks
My
pretty
dear
good
Marquis,
for a 10-year-old game being
Irina
ported to the
is
Switch.
special. Her parents desperately wish for her to take part in our research. She has finally come to understand that. We merely got off on the wrong foot.
of it! Arena, I know you don't want to be here, but it's okay now. I'm here. It's me, Rush, your brother.
It's a shame they do not share the same power. Marquis, would you be so kind as to babysit your brash young friend for the time being? Consider it a helping hand in our research.
Rush, stand down.
No, I'm gonna go save my sister.
Marquis, I believe it would be in your best interest to stop your little friend. Otherwise, I fear your life may be in peril.
Think this guy might be evil?
I find your story hard to swallow. You will come with us to Athlum to confirm this with the Academy.
They do a lot with eye movements in this
Do
game
not
too,
take my word
to express
as
emotion.
fact. Very well. Perhaps I shall convince you by force.
So he's just summoned, well, whatever the hell this is. Might be a living remnant of sorts. That would be my switch going to sleep for a second there. As you'll notice, some of these cutscenes are pretty long. There's a lot of cutscenes in this game. I think they're pretty good. You do have the option to pause or skip them at any time, if you so desire. So we're going to get into a boss fight here. Boss fights are typically pretty tough. This game is not simple. You'll see here, this is a good time to show off like the mini-map and things like that. So on the top right, we have a layout of all the unions. See our blue triangle is us, two green triangles are our guest unions, and those red triangles are all the enemies. We have a variety of options here. We can select which one to attack. Now in this case, we need to keep Rush safe. If Rush dies, since he's our only current active union, that will be a game over. Now later on, it's possible for him to die and not be a game over, which is good, trust me. The game does autosave after every combat though, so that is really nice. We'll start off with combat arts. I have this union set up for mostly combat. We're actually going to go towards our other unions here. And hopefully we make it there. We might get intercepted. We did actually get intercepted, so we're going to end up fighting this union instead. They got in our way. We took them out pretty quick there. Balsa hit them pretty hard. Oh, there's the critical chance. I totally whiffed that. I will probably whiff a lot of them. Got that one. Then teamwork comes up. We get the chance to do it again, but I missed. So yeah, so every time you get a critical effect like that, if you nail it, the next unit in that union moves up in turn order, and they get to go with a teamwork proc. So you can use that to your advantage to be able to get pretty heavy chains in early on in before enemy union can at all.
You okay?
Ooh, nice dodge there. There is also critical defense as well. If you get a critical defense, you will either knock them out or counterattack. So you can see here, we actually don't have a good view, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm going to turn this off. So basically, if you try to switch targets, you will cancel deadlock, which leaves you open to counterattack, essentially. But I wanted to show off kind of the scenarios here. You can see all the combat happening around you. Nothing is actually happening at this point, but it's kind of nice to be able to look around and see that, you know, everyone's fighting, dodging, parrying, blocking, things like that. I think it's a really cool thing, and it really adds to the game. So, we'll talk about these commands a little more here, because you'll see here that Rush is in a lot of trouble. However, because we only have the selection of these commands, we have to be careful. This is hurry and heal them. This will basically be healing Unit 3, or Union 3. But you'll see here, if we attack the second group, we don't have an option to actually heal ourselves. Which is one of the things that's a bit divisive about the game, because it's all these commands. If you don't play strategically, sometimes you can be left without an option to even heal yourself, which can be a little frustrating at times. However, If we go over here, we get the option to keep your HP up, which means that they will attack and use recovery arts. We'll do that. So Rush's first action should be to heal himself, which will keep us safe. Oops, missed that. I will probably switch this to automatic if I can remember afterwards, because again, I'm not good at it. If you put it on automatic, basically it's just like a coin flip every time, whether or not it's going to continue. I think it's a little bit in your favor though, so it's not quite just a coin flip. You see too, the enemies, or our own units will sometimes reassess, which means that they've decided that they need to do something else. This will often happen if they're just doing a standard attack or they're doing a standby, and you're injured, they'll switch and use one of their recovery arts, which is really nice. Now, raid lock means that there was a unit that was out of deadlock, and oh, we might be in trouble here actually. A unit that's completely out of deadlock, and they got attacked. So that's a really nasty counterattack essentially. Rush only being at 511 health is scary. Yeah, he's dead. Bummer. So yeah, game is tough. We'll switch gears though. Let me pull up my current game. I've played a lot of this. I've got a couple hundred hours in it on PC, and I've started the game here. So yeah, let me pull up my most recent save file here. And we'll show off some more combat, hopefully where I won't die horribly. This will be a good time too to show off what towns are like. So we're in Ryosha here, which I actually haven't really explored in this current save. So I'll head over. There's shops and stuff everywhere. We can buy things, we can upgrade things. There's a pub where you'll find side quests and things like that. There's a lot of side quests in this game that are potentially missable. There's a lot of areas in this game that are potentially missable. I'm actually in a situation now where I am 4 or 5 areas out from the main storyline. I can actually hire one of these. I think Westa might be a unique unit, so I'm gonna hire them. Valentine looks like more of a generic unit there. We've also got some quests. These are always active, essentially. As soon as you finish one, you can just come back here. One of the main differences between the 360 and the PC version, which is also the Switch version and PS4 version, in the 360 version, you can only have 1 leader quality unit per union, and that restriction was removed when they started moving it to different systems, which makes it much, much more engaging. So let's pop out here. So yeah, this is the town map. We're actually going to go to the world map. Yeah, so this is the world map, so we can select from all these different areas. And let's go to, let's see. Currently in Illusion. Could go, Veil of the Gods might be scary. Let's just go to, what are the Ivory Peaks? I think Ivory Peaks is a decent area to engage in some combat. Again, I'm trying to cover all the different things here. This game has a lot of mechanics. One of the things too that is interesting, so we can show this off too. So we get the union board, which is how we lay out our unions. There's different formations. You can see here we can put unions in different formations, and they all come with different stat buffs and things like that. It may protect them from different types of attacks. You see here I actually have everyone spread out because I was fighting a dragon type monster that was doing a fire breath, and if I had everyone spread out, it was a little safer. Unions share an HP pool, while an individual unit in the union can die. Basically lowering the HP kills them all no matter what. Another oddity is we look at equipment, we can only change Rush's equipment directly. Now, other units will request items. Like I think here...
Observe my stats carefully before making a choice.
Pagus has requested the Wayfarer's Ward and the Fortune Bracelet from me. I had the option of whether or not to give it to him. I decided, sure, we'll give that to him. We can, however, change all of their arts. So if you look at, say, David, I can go here. I actually have him letting to use whatever he wants, but if I wanted to say... hey, you know, don't use combat abilities, I can just turn those off, which is really nice when you're trying to figure out their class and things like that. Yeah, so let's get into a bigger combat here. There's also a sprint button on the Switch version, which is really nice. To go a bit faster, I will also go back and switch my critical. Oh, it is on automatic. Okay. All right, so let's get into combat with all three of these if I can here. So we'll hit time shift, tag that one, tag this one.
Let's do this.
I might have ran out. I might not have actually linked them all there. If not, we'll try that again and go into a further up.
Take the upper hand.
Yeah, we only got one. That's okay. Let's see. These enemies should not be too difficult. In fact, the music will change too, depending on the type of enemy you're fighting. More upbeat music is typically an enemy that is
Excellent.
equal level or a bit lower than you, a bit easier to fight. Let's see. A little further up here. I should also say that some of these areas are huge, so having the sprint ability is really nice. We'll dig here a little bit too. Gotta get an extra item, and he's got a chance to get more items. Oh, but he failed. Well, thank you, Mr. Diggs. Oh, I actually need that. Let's see who's gonna pull out this time. I'm actually gonna do this a little bit, because I actually need these items. I need the timber to upgrade one of my weapons.
Awesome!
I think I need one more. He also levels up as well.
All right! Awesome!
Nice, he got a lot there. So you can look at his stuff. He levels up the more you use him and gets different skills. Let's see, can I find some enemies that are close together? We can also kind of taunt enemies by doing this. This will wake them up. Potentially draw them closer to us. I'd love to get a really huge combat here, if possible. I have them chase me. Alright, let's see if we can hit all of these. Yeah, alright, so this is going to be a pretty big combat. This is 4 links, this will be 4 unions, or at least 4 unions. Sometimes enemies comprise of 2, and rarely 3 unions.
Take the upper hand.
Yes, we've got a ton here. Alright, this is great. So we've got 7 unions we're fighting. This is actually going to be a little challenging. I think we want to get to the edge of the map ASAP. We don't want to get surrounded here. So unions also gain more AP every turn, depending on a number of things. We can actually have this union defend, because one of them is a defender class. In fact, I think we'll do that. Let's see, I would like to have them attack from afar. Why don't we do that, actually? So, Loki here has poison gas, which he can use from afar. Area effect attacks hit all units in the unit individually. So they do a lot more damage to groups, but they do a lot lower damage to individuals. We get interrupted there, intercepted. So we're just going to defend here. Higher chance to block. Blocked or did. One of them dodged, but they're all poisoned, which is good. Ooh, they're getting flanked pretty bad. Pinprick is actually a horrifying ability. It has a chance to instant death. Wow, they're all attacking that Reed's division here. Who Rush calls Dave, by the way, which everybody gets really annoyed about. So you see our morale bar is really, really low now, which is pretty scary. We want to try to get that up. So let's see, turn it around. We can have them conserve some SP as well, or AP rather. playing a little bit too much SteamWorld. Yeah, we want them to hang in there. In case you're wondering too, can you change that camera rotation? You can. So we should be doing pretty well here.
Better now?
I wouldn't be surprised if Pangus decided to heal as well. He's currently standing by. No, he didn't decide to.
Gotta suck it up and stop these guys.
So Shard, when you see an ability that shows all the unions, that means it has a chance to hit multiple unions depending on where everyone's positioned. We might actually lose W's union here. We did. We can bring them back to life though. They do have those abilities. These guys are poisoned, they'll take a percentage of their health.
Steady there. There's still more of these guys?
Alright, so we'll bring them back. We can have both of them do that, in fact, to make sure it happens. I think we'll just do this. I was gonna say, she's probably gonna decide to heal here. Alright, we'll bring them back to life.
All right now?
I was only taking a little bit.
And everybody decides to heal them up as well, which is nice.
Stand your ground!
However, Russia's group is a bit in danger right now. Ooh, we missed the defensive trigger there. And that one decided to stand by, oddly enough. So you can hear the music change there, because we're actually in a bit of danger. So I think I can actually BR Shield, I believe, is basically trying to intercept and then just defending. Yeah, let's have everyone focus on trying to heal Rush. They might not need it, but King Raptors are pretty rough. Also, you'll notice some of the enemy names are strange. These aren't really raptors. Good, so we interfered with them. We intercepted them on the way to another group, and we're going to defend here. Now, hopefully Pinprick doesn't hit. Nice.
Attack them from their flank!
So you can see we're kind of swinging the battle back in our favor. It's very difficult. Ooh, rear assault means that they are already flanked. It's very difficult to keep morale up most of the time. Let them play it by ear.
How many of these punks have I got to kill?
Loki is very frustrated that we're still fighting the group. Nice. Well, I think he just learned a new ability. I think he just learned his an upgraded restorative bird, which is nice.
Steady there.
I think we'll be okay.
Those guys must be pretty freaking weak.
Alright. Ooh, actually dodged that magic attack. That's pretty rare. Caustic Blast actually hits everything on the field. Yeah, he's got definitely dead. So you see the number of turns, so the number of enemies defeated. We'll get a lot of stat-ups here.
Son of a... I need the other one! The other one!
Loki is displeased by his AP up. At the end, some units will decide that they want these items. So you can see what they're looking for, and that allows them to upgrade things. I could take it from them if I want, but I'll let them have it. We can also capture or split enemies. If we split them, we get the parts. If we capture them, we can sell them. I'll leave these captured. Yeah, I think that does a pretty good job of trying to show off all the different systems in The Last Remnant. This game is massive. Again, I think my save file on PC is something like 150 hours, maybe more. There's a lot of content here. There are some quirks. You know, the fact that it auto levels up, basically. It changes your class really without your input, based on the abilities you've used. Only being able to give commands, not specific actions, can be frustrating when you're not used to the game. But I think it's pretty cool. I think the combat system really sells it. I think everything else is pretty solid. And I think the story is okay. And I think the exploration is fun, and the environments look pretty good for a remaster of a 10-year-old game. So yeah, if you're interested in checking it out yourself, I'll have a link below to the Switch eShop. Again, thanks for Square for providing me a code to check it out. I will certainly be playing more of this in my off time because it's just fun and plays really well in handheld too. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Big click like helps so much. Subscribe for more. I'll see you soon.